Let's take a listen.
Jason Lanier White. Okay, you need ink and toner. So, you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need to find ink in a multi-pack in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That's what's up. Room tone.
Okay. That's what's up. I like it. Yeah, that made the script a lot better. Okay. Sorry I wasn't sharing the screen at the beginning there. Let's open that up. Boom. All right. So Jason, your acoustics are great. Now, the reason why it's at a 4.5, I'll come back to. Noise floor, phenomenal. Let's take a listen because you're not going to hear anything. I mean, you hear a tiny, tiny bit, but like that's, for comparison's sake, let's go to my file. Okay, so that's why you get a 5 on the noise floor rating. Your recording levels, great, perfect. All right, and mic technique and mic tone. So these are all kind of intertwined with the acoustics. As you could see, look, everything you have here, dude, you're like in pro level. And by the way, I would bring it up because I think he uploaded photos and everything. He's using an AKG C414 something, B something, excuse me. And I don't know which variation of that, but it's $1,000 mic. And that was going into a Universal Apollo twin, I think. And he's in a Studio Bricks, folks. So, you know, just like I'm fortunate enough to have back here. So that's why his noise floor was super low, because he has like a dedicated booth. But what I'm hearing in the mic tone, there's something, dude, that's a little too dark that I don't like about it. And it could be either the mic itself, you're a little too off axis, or it's something resonating in your acoustics. So let me listen a little bit more.
You need ink and toner. So,
I'm actually just going to turn it up just for the sake so I can hear it better. Whoop. I'm going to delete it. All right. All right, here we go.
you need ink and toner. So, you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher.
Yeah, it's got a nice brightness to it, but it's a little too, I'm going to bring up my EQ. Let's do a reset here.
You need to find ink in a multi-pack in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That's what's up.
All right, so what I'm hearing, it's around like 100. It's kind of in this whole range. See where all the energy is building up?
In stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples.
So I cut a little bit of that out, you know, about 1 dB, and it's just a little too much of that in the raw file. Again, dude, it doesn't sound like crap or anything. I'm just saying, like, here's, like, I think I'm pretty sure you have a 416, right? And I'm almost certain the 416, I would highly prefer it over this mic. It's just a little too dark and muffly sounding for my taste. It's not super neutral. It's just a little too much of that oomph in the low end. So let me turn off the EQ, and I'll play a phrase. Let's see.
In stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples.
And with the EQ on. So now I'm cutting, just cutting, not adding anything, folks.
In stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples.
So it's just, it kind of opens it up a bit, right? Because it doesn't need any brightness on the top end. So that's my only, I'm not even going to call it a complaint, but it's just something like if I was mixing this, I'd be cutting out maybe that much. It just depends. I'd have to take it through phrase by phrase, but just a little too much buildup in that not so much heavy bass, but just more of like the mid range, like low mids right there. But overall, it sounds really good, man. Really good, dude. So I like how he labeled this, what I send out. Instead of like my like type A nerdy ass would have been like Jordan Reynolds - Staples - processed or processing, or like most people did, but he's like, what I send out. I like it. Just keep it simple. So let's take a listen to that.
Jason Lanier White. Okay, you need ink and toner. So, you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need to find ink in a multi-pack in stock now at the lowest price possible.
All right, I'm just going to compare. Going to go back to the original.
You need to find ink in a multi-pack in stock now at the lowest price possible.
And back to the processed.
You need to find ink in a multi-pack.
All right, I think I hear noise removal. Let me compare. Jason has a negative 85 noise floor, folks. Oh, wait, that's because he pulled it out. Yeah, you're pulling out 25 dB of noise. You don't need to, my friend. Now, this doesn't sound bad, dude, at all. Like, what'd I rate it? Yeah, I gave it a 4.5. So, like, I could use this, but it's because you already have the mic, that mic. I'm just going off this mic. It's just a little more, it's a little darker and lightly muffled. And then you add noise removal, and what does that do? That takes out high frequencies. It can take out too many high frequencies that you don't need to pull out, and then it ends up making the voice just sounding even a bit more like this. And that's what I'm hearing in the audio. And can you tell me what you did in the chat? Let's see. Ventilator set to 3. I keep it at 2 out of 5, but I can get away with 3, and no one has complained. But if I can withstand it, I keep it at 2. And by the way, my noise floor sample is with it on 2 that I went back and played. So when I turn it up to 3, I can definitely start to hear it in my studio bricks. But yeah, so you're doing noise removal, dude, but you don't, if you're going to do any, just do a tiny bit. This is too much. Still usable, but just making it sound less open and full. All right. So, all right, dude. 2 pop screens on, that might be doing it too. Yes. Do you have like the windscreen, meaning like it's covered in a piece of foam and you have a pop filter in front of it? That can, let me demonstrate actually. So I have so there's 2 things that are used to, well, there's a lot, but, AC's on. Mara was dying. Sorry. All right. So don't listen to my noise floor, but listen to the clarity of my voice. This is called a windscreen, and a windscreen is literally a piece of foam that sits on the mic itself. Even large diaphragm condensers like this is an Audio-Technica. Sorry, am I just on the camera right now, or is it sharing my screen? I can never tell. Okay, cool. It's just the camera. Large diaphragms can come with a piece of foam or a windscreen that go on it. And what that does, it's supposed to block the P's, and it does it very well at plosives, being p-p-p. But it's at an expense, more so for male voices and female voices, that it takes off a little bit of the high end. So I'm going to pull it off. So, hey, so let's go to Staples. Let's go to Staples. Hold on, let me mute this. Let's go to Staples. All right, you hear that? I hear it's a lot more open. Like it's almost like 1.5 dB. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm doing high frequency. 1 high. What if I did some ASMR? Here's what that creepy ASMR stuff sounds like without the windscreen. Are you getting the tingles from me reading Green Eggs and Ham? Sam I Am. All right, here we go. Green Eggs and Ham, Sam I Am. Now I'm doing ASMR. So you hear that? There's there's a brightness to it, right? It almost sounds like Mara, for example, my wife, she's also voice talent for those of you who don't know her. She hates most pop filters. Like, she has a really good ear. So she is so picky about what pop filters she uses, if any. And she definitely hates this thing on a 416. She already has like a more resonant, warm voice. It's not as bright compared to a lot of female voices. So this can actually help with a lot of female voices tame that brightness down. But for me, I just use it because it's convenient, not doing anything right now. But even for pro work, I keep it on, and it's never bothered me. But just something to keep in mind, man. All right. Mara texts me. She's like, sorry, I'm dying. All right. So, okay. Well, Google Forms stopped loading, and I really wanted to go till 6, do 2 hours straight of just samples, but I literally can't load. Let me try in Safari. I doubt it's a Chrome thing, but who knows? In the meantime, Can you guys give me any questions? Start loading them up. Put all caps question. And if I missed one that you already did earlier, please fire it through again. Oh, it is Chrome. I got it working. All right. I'll answer one question, and then I'm going to hop on to the next one. All right. Hang tight for just a moment. Okay. ASMR. Window in front of yours where third panel should be. Gotcha. You got it, Jason. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm like so hot and dry that I'm extra mouth clicky, so I apologize. I'm really gross right now. Question. In RX7, so that's isotope RX7, the noise removal, how do you adjust that? Okay. Let me show you. Let's go to Jason's original. Not that he needed it. Let me actually pull up a different sample that really needed it. Catherine Curtin's, I think, had. But hers is a little bit more difficult because the noise is ever changing. But let's see if we can find a section. Okay, so let me bring up to isotope RX voice. So I think there's just a standard denoise, is there? Oh, there's spectral denoise. Yeah, so you want to use voice denoise, which comes with the cheaper isotope RX package. So I'm going to load that up and show you how it works. It's really simple. Now, there's two modes. The ideal mode, which you don't have to do, is capture what the noise sounds like before you remove it. So, and how you do that is you highlight a section where it's just that the noise you want to remove. Okay, I listen to that, and I don't hear any like movement or the TV turning on. And you uncheck this out of adaptive mode, and you click Learn, and now it's sitting there listening, okay? It's like, okay, I'm ready. Come at me, bro. All right, so now I'm going to hit play, and it's gonna take a snapshot of just that sound. You'd never want to do this on your voice while it's in Learn mode. Okay, I had it in bypass, sorry. Let's try that again. All right, you see it was all like snaky. It's like, ooh, I'm getting noise, man. All right, so now notice how the Learn button went away from blue. It's captured the noise profile, what it deems as noise. Now the default here is dialogue, which we want to optimize it for because our voice is dialogue. And I like to keep the setting here on gentle, never surgical. Gentle does a really good job. So now that we have it captured, you can go anywhere in the file and listen before you just smack it and apply it on everything. All right. So I think the default actually is set to, 12 dB of reduction. So let's listen back and see what it's doing.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink.
Now I'm going to try it with it off.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
Yeah, that was helping really good. She already has kind of that muffled, right, a little off-axis tone. So noise removal is only going to make that sound worse. But I would probably dial this down. This reduction slider is how much do I want to pull out? 12 dB is the default. You got to play with this, and you can actually visually see and hear how much it's actually pulling out. So I'm going to keep my mic on, so don't really be listening, just more be watching. But
you need.
Let me turn this back on.
Hard to find ink
So see
in a multi-pack
when
in stock now.
that white skinny line is going below that blue line. Anytime it's below that, then it's being turned down. Okay, if it's not, then it's not pulling out a whole lot.
At the lowest price possible. So you go to Staples. Still easy.
And I felt like at 12 it was pulling out a little too much information, so I'd probably dial this down, and you just dial it down yourself until you hear it's like, oh yeah, I hear a lot of that or fan noise that it's going away without the expense of my voice kind of sounding like this and hollow and too dead sounding. Okay, now that's the more surgical. Yeah, with the gentle setting. That's the more grab it and learn how your noise sounds. But if you're in a hurry and you're just doing auditions and your noise is always the same, you can skip that step and use this adaptive mode. So if I load this back up and go to default, it's by default in adaptive mode because their adaptive mode is so good, okay? And adaptive mode means, hey, I'm just going to listen, man, and I already know what noise sounds like. You don't need to tell me, man. I know noise, and you don't, so don't even tell me to learn. Just keep it on adaptive, bro, and I got it, okay? So let's take a listen.
You need ink and toner. So you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
I'm going to turn it off now.
You need ink and toner. So you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
And one more time with it on.
You need ink and toner. So you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
Yeah, so kind of like in the learn mode, it was pulling out a little too much than I like because she's already got kind of more of a muffled tone. So I would dial this down a little bit on the right. Let's try that.
You need ink and toner. So you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tough.
Yeah, that's sounding, again, that's pulling out. You don't have to pull out all the noise, by the way, folks. Like if you turn it down by just 10 dB, whoa, right? It's sounding a lot better. So this adaptive mode that it's on by default is really good. So I just I have no problem with people using it, but this default setting of 12 is a little too much, I think, on most recording spaces. If you've already educated yourself and if you're already at a level that you bought this and you're using it, you rarely need to pull out that much. Even if you have it down like at 8 or 9, or even like here, like at 6, it's going to be I mean, look, it's probably going to dip between her phrases quite a bit. Let's go to actually her noise. Yeah, I mean, it's quiet. And here it is with it off. Yeah, look, I have that at 6.3, not 12, and it's still pulling out a ton of room tone. So there you go. RX7 voice denoise. It's in Isotope RX Elements package, but I recommend the standard if you can afford it because it comes with the mouth declick. Not the standard declick, but the mouth declick is such a good tool. I need it now. Sorry, ASMR. Oh, is it Essentials pack, dude? I thought it was Element. Okay, Elements or Essentials, I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's one of those two E words. All right. All right, answer that question. Sorry, let me just see if I can answer a few of these quickly. Are you doing demos? Soon. That's all I can say. Check the website for more, for updates. Dun, 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 dun. Question. What's the difference between noise eliminator and noise gate? Well, the word eliminator is a little weird. Noise eliminator, I would just assume, is kind of like what we just used, is a noise removal. Removal is kind of more of the term that's used, but it's more intelligent. It's listening, and it's it's like that snake that you could see. It's constantly moving and adapting, and you can give it a source to remove. Whereas a gate, like I said, is just like and that's why most noise gates I'm not a fan. Just not for just raw voiceover. It's really hard to get them right. And did I see someone? Are you doing coaching? Is that what I saw somewhere? I am doing voiceover coaching on a case-by-case basis when I have time. That's on my website at jordanreynolds.com. There's a coaching tab. And all right, in a small closet booth, what's the best way to stop echo? Just tons of bass traps or more insulation behind me? When you're in a small closet, like for example, that white door back there, it's kind of looks washed out in my picture, but there's actually, that's actually my clothing closet. Like I don't keep any clothes in the bedroom. It's like I leave the bedroom to get dressed. It's like, it's kind of funny to think about that. Like you go dress in your own room, honey. But in there before I don't really have a huge wardrobe, but before we had the studio bricks, we were sharing the vocal booth in Maris' studio. And when she was doing something that superseded what I had to do, I had moving blankets set up in this closet, which is not a walk-in. It's tiny. It's like you open and you can kind of step in and there's a shelf. But wow, did it sound like, it just sounded boxy and nasty. So the thicker the materials in your small closet, like if you can get like a memory foam pillow or a memory foam mattress versus just a thick blanket, that memory foam, it's that dense squishiness that absorbs more sound. And I'm just talking like stuff you might have around your house, right? But if you're in a closet, if you can afford to get acoustic panels with actual insulation in them, that is the best bet. But the next best thing is moving blankets or acoustic blankets. But if you're already dropping money on the acoustic blanket level, it's worth just probably getting at least some acoustic panels because they're going to suck up a lot more of that bass tone, especially on a male voice in a small closet. That's going to be very apparent. All right. All right. Question, for Michael Scott, is it better to add silence or lower the tone in between lines? You started covering it. Did I? Or at least I probably pointed it out with the noise removal. When I'm editing my VO, let's just talk about auditions. I tend to remove more of my breaths than not. No one's ever slapped me on the wrist for it. Even for character work, unless if it's like a video game where it's really dramatic and like it's part of the character, and he just like ran like a quarter mile. I was like, oh my god, I'm a good actor. But you don't want to be cutting all that out because then it would just sound really weird. Okay. But for commercial work or promo, I am cutting out I literally just delete it. And let me show you how. All right. Sharing the screen here. So if I was editing Catherine's, let me mute my mic. Actually, I got to keep my mic on. Sorry. So just so I'm not having to ride the button the whole time. But let me show you kind of what I do with breaths. So I delete that.
You need ink and toner. So you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
Do that. And then when you delete a breath, then it's really awkward if it's long to just sound like this.
That was easy, right?
That felt really long. So I delete and I do this. Kind of split the difference. But I literally I don't add room tone to my auditions. I don't have time. If you are only doing a handful of auditions a week and you have time, go for it. But it's probably not helping you book the demo. Unless if they're like, hey, we want to hear your raw audio, which you're seeing a lot more right now with quarantine. And they're like, hey, we don't edit out breaths. Like, don't do what I'm doing right now. But if it's just for every other standard audition, I just delete it because I'm doing a lot of auditions a week and I don't have time to we're not getting paid, right? So it's not that I'm like half-assing it. My performance is there, but I'm not going to be really massaging every perfect and like filling this part with room tone so it sounds supernatural. I just get rid of a lot of the breaths. So I do this, I do kind of that.
Let's make it tougher. You need hard to find ink in
That's a short breath. Oops. I'd probably keep that, but just for the sake.
Find ink in a multi-pack
So that's a little click there.
Pack in stock now. In stock now.
Took off that K, so I'm going to put it back.
In stock now.
No, that was a click. And that was the K. So here's the mouth click and here's the K.
Now.
Yeah.
In stock now at the lowest price possible.
Delete that in the middle.
So you go to Staples.
Delete that click.
You go to Staples. Still.
A little bit of clicks before the S.
Still easy. With an amazing.
So does that kind of give you some insight? Right? Like I'm chopping out a lot of the breaths and just like, it's just, you got to get it done. But the pace, what's more important is I've mastered the pacing, right? Too many people will do this. They'll just delete a breath and just type this up and listen how rapid this sounds.
So you go to Staples. Still easy. With an.
That wasn't bad, but I hear a lot of like this.
So you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing.
too much, right? That's what I did when I first got started. I over edited, and I'm like, they don't have time. They're listening to so many auditions. They don't listen. I just got to get to the read. They don't want to hear space. Well, when we talk in real life, we have space, right? So there you go. Hopefully that helps with the breath thing, Michael. And Adam, question: Would you reckon? Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying recommend. Would you reckon that acoustic foam mattress toppers would, when cut down, make decent audio panels? You know, it depends. I'm not an expert on like the foam that's within them, but I do know that foam is a lot more dense, meaning like how hard is it to compress it in your hands versus like a piece of Orlex foam? And the more difficult it is to squeeze, the odds are it's going to suck up more sound, which is what you want. So I would say that those toppers, depending on how thick they are, if they're at least like 2 inches thick, would probably make pretty good audio panels. But it's in the bass frequencies is where I can't like promise you what it's going to do. So, all right, one more question, and then I'm going to try to get a few more audio samples in. Okay, folks? How are you getting Twisted Wave to show up as purple and neon and green versus standard gray and blue? Okay. Mara totally customized hers as she does. Where is it? And I just copied it because I am not original. Edit colors. You go to edit colors. Look at all the stuff you could change. I'm not even going to touch it because I'm afraid of breaking what I'm used to seeing with my colorblind ass. All right. But look, you can literally change like the tip of the waveform and the background, and it's insane. You can even change the timeline font. You can make that shit Comic Sans, and then everyone would hate you if you did webinars. All right. All right. Let's get on to one or two more samples, okay? You guys in it? You guys want to do a few more? Yes? All right. I'm seeing some thumbs up. I'm trying not to burn out here. AC is helping, but I want to give you guys as much value as possible, okay? Oh, okay. We got Lily Barba. Hello, Lily. She was, I met her at VO Atlanta 2019. She was in my X session. All right. Let's go to Safari. And okay, now I'm going to be rating this live. So I actually haven't heard this yet. So it'll be a little bit slowed down. I won't have like the chart up and perfect and done, but I'm going to try to be rating it on another screen while I'm playing it back. So here we go.
Necesitas tinta y toner, así que vas a Staples. Eso fue fácil, ¿verdad? Hagámoslo más difícil. Necesitas tinta difícil de encontrar en un paquete múltiple, en stock ahora, al precio más bajo posible. Vas a Staples, aún más fácil. Con una selección increíble, asociados útiles y la garantía de tinta de bajo precio de Staples. Más personas ahorran en tinta y toner en Staples que en cualquier otro lugar. ¿Grapas? Eso fue fácil.
Awesome. All right. Sorry. I'm trying to move windows. Hang tight. Going to play back one more time.
Necesitas tinta difícil de encontrar en un paquete múltiple, en stock ahora, al precio más bajo posible. Vas a Staples, aún más fácil. Con una selección increíble, asociados útiles y la garantía de tinta de bajo precio de Staples. Más personas ahorran en tinta y toner en Staples que en cualquier otro lugar. ¿Grapas? Eso fue fácil.
Rock on. Okay. All right. Let me... Noise floor. Let's see if I can bring up some pictures. All right, she's using a Shure KSM. Let's see if I can find the model here. Holy crap. Look at this, folks. She's got a bunch of gear. Lily, I believe, is one of like the biggest voice talent in Mexico. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, well, she's probably gonna be too humble, but I remember her friends at VO Atlanta saying, "Do you know who Lily is?" Yeah, she's like, she has this amazing postcard of all the work she's done, including like a ton of classic, like tons of Simpsons characters, the Spanish versions and stuff. It's so cool. So there's your rack full of tons of gear. Here is your mic. Okay, it looks like, oh, that's like a KSM. Sure, KSM. Is that a 32? No, that looks... Do you know the model, Lily? I think might be the 32. That shock. Yeah, that is the 32, I think. 32. Okay, great. Great. That's a great mic. And let's pull up one more photo here. Whoa. All right. Look at that. That's like a full-blown studio. That's awesome. Okay, so the acoustics, overall, it sounds good. Frankly, that is kind of what I was hearing. Again, going back to the windscreen, Lily. So this red, is that red? Roja? The windscreen, combined with that, might be making it a little tad muffled. But let's listen to the acoustics one more time, just for a short moment.
Eso fue fácil, ¿verdad? Hagámoslo más difícil.
So this is interesting. The booth, I hear a little bit of a light echo in it. It's a light reflection, but it's not in a bad way. It's kind of a pleasing, more of a room, like you're in a well-treated room sound acoustic tone.
Necesitas tinta difícil de encontrar en un paquete múltiple.
It's a little resonant, like I'm hearing a little too much of the room, like almost kind of like a boxy-ish tone for my taste, but it's totally usable. So I gave it a 4. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. So I gave it a 4. Now the noise floor, let me address that, because while I don't hear fan noise, I hear a buzz. You hear that, folks? I'm going to turn it up by 10 dB so you can hear it. But I can already hear it, unfortunately, at a quiet level. So here it is amplified by 10 dB. You hear that? So because it's a consistent noise, if I recorded you, Lily, and this wouldn't be a huge problem, because I could remove most of that with the tool I just showed you, with Isotope RX, but you might not have clients who would be as forgiving. So there's something causing that, and you have a ton of things. Let's see if you list it. Okay, you got an APMI Crest Audio Pro Tools Digio 2. That's old school. Let me get to your equipment here. So I don't know. Unfortunately, it'll take too long for me to figure out like where everything and what's connecting to what. But if your mic is going through a good portion of these pieces of equipment, it has a higher risk of more noise getting added to it. So you probably have like 4 or 5 different cables possibly in your, like, from your mic going into the preamp, out of the preamp maybe going into like a compressor, and then out of that compressor going into something else, and then into the Digio 2. Or it could just be one mic going into the Digio 2. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of that model, that amp crest thing. I have to look it up. But there's somewhere in the chain, it's either a bad cable or a bad piece of equipment, or it's the Digio 2 is pretty old. It's really old. So maybe the input on there has a zzz going on. So I would definitely try to get that fixed, but I doubt it's your microphone. The KSM32 is really good. And by the way, people, the Shure KSM32, I love this microphone on female voices because it literally is actually notching out some of the high frequencies where a lot of female voice sibilance builds up. Unlike the TLM 103 or the 416, here's the mic. So it's not cheap. It's a nice mid-tier, mid-grade mic, but like no one would be like, oh, this isn't $1,000 mic sounding. This is pro level, but it's really good at reducing that harsh sibilance that some female voices can tend to have. So let's get back to the rating. Recording levels were great. Mic technique was great. No pop peas or anything. And the mic tone, I'm kind of bouncing between the acoustics and the tone. Like I said, it's a little bit of a boxy-ish tone.
Con una selección increíble, asociados útiles y la garantía de tinta.
But I think if you took off the Roja windscreen off, it will. I think it's really gonna open it up a bit more and sound a lot more natural. So there you go. Oh, and then let's do processed audio. I think she uploaded that. So let's get back to close this. All right, here is the processed audio. Let's take a look. Listen.
Tienes tiempo.
Okay, I don't know if this is the same. No, it's definitely not the same read. Wait, I don't know. My Spanish is terrible. No, she was saying staples in that one. Okay. Let's just go back and listen.
Tienes todo. Tira tus tabúes. Todo turquesa. Tatúate. Trota. Transpira.
Okay, so this is like a fully produced spot, which is really cool. You sound great on it. Man, beautiful voice. But I can't, for the processed audio, Lily, I needed something that was just voiceover and with compression or EQ or noise removal, no music, no musica. Otherwise, I can't help a whole lot. But this sounds great. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to move on. But definitely try to work on that zzz, figure out what's causing that. All right. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to move my screen sharing thing so I can see. All right, that's my file. Okay, cool. Let's get a few more in. All right, next up is John Knowles. Let me go up here. All right, let's take a listen.
John Knowles. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That was easy.
Cool. Let me listen to the noise floor. Just a moment. I need to text Mara. I can hear the TV. Just a sec. Okay. All right, noise floor. It's good.
More people save on ink and toner.
Compare it to mine. So you can kind of hear that. Again, by the way, when I'm bringing mine up, it's because it's what I know, and I know it's taken a lot of work for me to get it there. But it's also, as an audio engineer, having a reference to know what to aim for is good. It's not so I can be like, well, yours is good. Let's listen to mine. I'm not trying to be an ass with it. It just literally gives me a technical reference point to see how much quieter it could be. So this is good, but it's a little, just a tiny bit of a little bit of hiss on the top end, but it's not bad at all. It's totally usable. Okay. All right. So, sorry, since I'm rating this as we go, process a little bit slower. Acoustics are good. I like them.
You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now at the lowest price possible.
Cool. And let me pull up the photos here, if you gave me permission. Close, close, close. He's using a Sennheiser 416 into a UA Apollo Twin. He's in a whisper room with bass traps, wrapped in moving blankets and Orlex on the walls and ceiling. I'm just going to open up maybe one or two of these photos. All right, so here's a wall. Whoa, is that the ceiling? Cool. All right. Really cool. So this is what would happen if a mouse walked into John's booth. He'd be like, oh my God, don't step on me. And, ooh, very pretty. I like your lighting. Cool. Nice. You put the rod up there just to mount the mic. That's smart. Love it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, your acoustics sound good. I hear like a little bit of like, I'm not sure. I think it might just be the screen. I'm so picky and weird when it comes to hard surface reflection, not because it sounds like a long echoey bathroom echo, but it's like a hard surface echo. Like I'm nuts about it in my booth. I spend way too much time tweaking it, but let me listen one more time.
You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack in stock now at the lowest price possible.
Yeah, there's something just I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. I think I'm hearing maybe just a little bit of reflection off the screen, but dude, it's not even worth addressing. And no engineer is going to be like, oh, fix it. So moving on to noise floor. So I am hearing a little bit of, just a tiny bit of hiss. I'm not quite sure. The 416 is a little bit louder noise floor than the TLM 103, which is what my sample is on. So it could just be that, because I know you're using great equipment. You're literally using an Apollo, which is what I'm using. But yeah, that's great. I just hear a little bit of a so I'm not quite sure what it could be, but it's nothing that's going to disqualify you from any pro work. I'm just going off of, again, what I was able to do. And frankly, it's probably just the microphone because it doesn't sound like a fan noise. Let me amplify it. Yeah, that sounds, I don't hear any fan noise. I just hear, which is just the electronics. Awesome. And mic tone, gave it a 4. I like it. Again, there's something kind of like, I don't love it, but I really do like it.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That was easy.
Yeah, there's just something, it just might be mic positioning. I'm not quite sure. Maybe try getting a little bit more directional on the mic. I think I might be hearing that. But you're in good shape, man. Let's see if you uploaded some processed audio. Sure did. Downloading it now. Rock on, Scott. Mogami Gold. Scott said he upgraded to Mogami Gold cables.
John Knowles. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples.
I'm just going to compare now. So going back to the original.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates.
I'm actually going to boost the gain on it to make it equal or close to equal, so it's a fair comparison. Because whenever audio is by default louder and you're comparing the same source, but just one's louder, our brains favor the louder source, thinking it's better, but that's not true. So let me try to get these a bit more even. Yeah, that looks better. All right, here's the original.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee.
And the process.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee.
Whoops, I didn't mean to add a marker. I'm hearing a little too much noise removal.
And Staples' low-price ink guarantee.
It's probably I'm guessing I'm going to go on a ninja move here. And are you using not the mouth declicker, but just the declicker? Because there's just a standard declicker, and it's a bit more aggressive on the voice, and it can pull out more information. Nailed it. Awesome. So, okay, so Isotope has what they had for years is called it's just a declicker tool. And it was kind of an overall, it could remove pops and clicks from records, like on vinyl, it's like, it's used for that. But it can also it was used for years on voice, but the default setting I think is like 3 or 4 of the strength. Is just their number that they measure it by. And it can pull out a little too much. So this is fine. John, this is like nothing wrong with this. No one would throw this audio out. But what happens is while it might pull out some of the mouth clicks, it will pull out more than it needs to. I've been pointing this out a lot, folks. And I'm talking just on a high upper pro level tier, right? There hasn't been too many today that have been like, whoa, like noise removal is just ridiculous. Like it's making it sound really bad. It's just more like I'm hearing it pull out air and life in the voice. And some audio engineers might not even be able to hear that, but what they will know is that it doesn't sound natural. Something sounds a little off about it. And if you're going to be sending processed audio as your auditions, or a client ever asks you to process it, you want to get it right, right? So I would recommend, when you can, upgrade to Isotope Standard, which comes with the mouth declick, because it's a lot better. But even the mouth declick can actually be too much. It can pull out, I don't like the default strength of 4.0. I do a 1.9 on everything. I'll show you what I mean, folks. Let me go back to his original. Wait, let's see. I do 2.5 on my auditions, but if it's a gig, I'll put it down to like 1.9. And you can keep all these settings the same here, but I start with around here on my audition, and I apply it to the whole thing, and then I remove anything else after that that's still there. So let's try it out. All right, so 2.5, and let's listen for mouth clicks.
John Knowles. You need ink and...
Sorry, I just applied it to processed. My bad. Let's apply it to the... Let me apply it to the raw audio. Here we go. So removing mouth clicks, a 2.5 strength. And let's listen.
John Knowles. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples. A
little bit of right there. So since it's right before, I could either just delete it, but if there's I'm trying to find a click within a voice.
Still easy.
A little bit of click in there. So I would highlight this, bring up, I have keyboard shortcuts for everything. Oh shit. Sorry. Oh God. Thanks for dancing, everyone. I'm so sorry. Okay, so what I did is I took John's original audio, I pulled up mouth declick, okay, and I applied the 2.5 sensitivity on it, and now I'm listening back to see if there's any leftover clicks that it didn't grab. Okay, I'm so sorry. Thanks. Why is it? Is there a timer running? They're like, it's gonna end. Oh God. Sorry about that, folks. Live TV. All right, so I'm listening for mouth clicks. Take a look.
Still easy.
So you hear that at the beginning? You could see it, and I could probably just go like that.
Still easy.
That sounds great. But let's just say that click was within the word, or you'll find clicks in here that are still existing after the lighter pass of 2.5. And this is what I just do on auditions, folks. I will apply it again, but I'll do an alt click, which just brings it up to 4.0. Because the long way is like grab. There we there, But if you have it like down here, you can just literally hold the alt key. I think it's both on Windows and Mac. Click anywhere on this whole thing, and it just snaps it back to default, which is 4.0. But again, I feel that 4.0 is a little too strong on most audio for a full pass. But on just a phrase here and there, it's okay. So let me go ahead and apply it, and let's see if that click is better. Oh, it looks kind of there still.
Still easy.
See, it's not perfect. So in that case, I would delete that. Let's listen a little bit more.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That was easy.
All right, right there. That's a great. Now, if this was my audition, I would just do this. Delete, silence. Because you just don't need it, right? But let's say that had to be in there. That was in the voice. Clearly, 2.5 didn't grab enough of that, because that's nothing but mouth clicks. So I'm going to just bring it to 4.0, apply, and let's see if it takes out more. Sure did. It's still there a little bit, right? Now, this is kind of an extreme case, and you could just keep applying passes. But the problem is if you do the full 4.0 strength on within actual words, it pulls out a little too much information. So all that to say, going back to his processed audio, I'm going to undo everything I did. It's just pulling out his normal declicker is pulling out a little too much information. But overall, it sounds good, man. Sounds good. All right, you guys down for maybe one or two more? You guys are in it, damn. Is that a real background, Adam Durgeman? Okay. I'm like, look at the studio he's in. Damn. Oh, that's smart, dude. That's slick. I like it. You should do all your VO sessions that are on Zoom with that. You're like, yeah, welcome to my studio. It's a few $1 million. Oh, thanks. No, don't mind my blurred out earphone. It's just it's an artifact of the video. This is my studio. All right. Let's close this. All right, let's get 1 or 2 more in. How many people are on here still? You guys are nuts. Doesn't tell me how many people are in here. That's a shame. Well, someone knows. Type it in the chat. I'm curious. 32. You guys are nuts. You have nothing else better to do than improve your audio. How dare you? All right. Next one up is Sheldon Roberts. Download that. All right, here's a perfect example of too quiet of a noise floor. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm at least just going to artificially boost it by probably 20 dB. Oh, okay. Damn. All right. Let's do 15. There we go. And I'm going to pull up my little rating over here and do this on my other monitor. Fill in the blanks. And sorry, John, by the way, that processed audio, I would give it a 4 or 4.5, by the way. It was just lighten up on the D click, maybe reduce that strength. And then if you hear any residual clicks, go back over it at a stronger strength just on those smaller phrases. All right, let's take a listen. Here we go.
Sheldon Roberts. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That was easy.
Rock on. Okay. Let me go back to that level there. Okay. Hang tight. Just finishing up my rating. The negative 51 noise floor, but it's pretty loud because I had to boost it up a lot. Almost done. All right, and he's using an AT2020, and he's using a Line 6 UX2. Cool. Or anyone using a Line 6 for VO work. He says he's followed some my video tips I've done before and some other YouTuber, and he's uploaded some photos, and he said we could share them. Let's take a look. It's, by the way, thank you everyone who uploaded photos and let people see them. All right, so I asked for a 360 view, by the way, people. So when people are like, why is there a picture of his wall? It's because I'm like, I need to see everything around you in order to have an idea of what's going on, and so I can give you advice. So I like that art. That's really cool. So there's one wall. Here's another wall. So there's his AT2020. Ooh, game. Oh, must be a streamer. Look at, is that a TV? Aren't you badass? I just have a TV for a screen, you know. Yeah, you're a gamer. Me too. All right. Oh, did you? All right. Heyo. Anime. Always portray women how they want to be portrayed accurately. Not. All right. Okay, so there's that standing there, and you got the blanket. Cool. All right. And I see more hard surfaces in the other part of the room. Cool. All right, I think we get the gist. Cool, here's a great shot. You're puppy. So cute. All right. Sour Patch Kids. Oh, I love those. All right, cool. Okay, so the first thing I'm hearing, dude, on the acoustics, let me bring up your rating, is giving him a 2.5. You just, unfortunately, because, you are using a large diaphragm condenser, it's, I'm just hearing way too much echo in the room. So just take a listen for a second.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
Right. You just hear a lot of the room echoing, and you can see it in the photos that you don't, it's pretty open, unfortunately, right? Like you got the bed, and I hear dogs absorb a lot of bass. So that's good to have them there. And then I don't know if this closet over here is soft on the cover or if it's like a room divider, but if that's a hard surface, that's not good. So these pillows up here, that's doing something. But overall, like you got a lot, especially the wall you're facing, you want that to be as soft as possible because that's where most of the bounce is coming from. And then next, it's the bounce coming on the sides of you, all right? You also are playing with a large room, so that's difficult too. So moving on to, so as far as acoustic, what can you do? You've seen a lot, it looks like you said you've been looking up videos. You just got to encapsulate yourself in as much soft stuff as possible. It doesn't have to look pretty, and unfortunately you might, that's what sucks is you can't put up a lot of artwork and things like that, at least of that size, if you're trying to make it sound good a lot of the times, unless you want to buy fancy artwork that's also an acoustic panel. But if you want it to sound good, you got to add a lot of stuff. But usually it's things you can have in your house and to get a pretty good sound. All right. Let's go back to noise floor. Now I can't accurately gauge this, unfortunately, because to hop over to your recording levels, I'm giving that a 2.5. This is a significantly too quiet. Your peak is like what? It's like at -18. So again, like if this was in a pro studio, right, and you had a super quiet noise floor and no echo and stuff like that, you could use this, no problem. Like a lot of video games and stuff like that will end up recording this low just so they can compensate for when the person's yelling. But for most VO work, especially done from home, and because you don't have a quiet room yet, without running equipment and things like that, this is way too quiet. So you definitely want to turn this up significantly, and you want it to look more like that. That's a healthier level. So peaks around like -10-ish, -6. Okay. So back to the noise floor. Now that I've artificially amplified it, let's take a quick listen. What's weird about this is like, I almost hear that there is noise removal on it. I hear it's kind of hard to emulate, but it sounds like it's on a Skype call or noise has been removed, but I don't hear it in the VO.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples low price ink guarantee.
So I'm not quite sure what's causing that. It might be the line 6, dude. I'm not quite sure, but there's that going on. And probably a fan. I think I definitely can hear a fan. So, the AT2020, it's a great starter mic, right? I love it. But the noise floor isn't the quietest compared to a more expensive microphone, and you probably are hearing maybe a computer fan. You probably have a nice gaming rig in there, a PC. So I think I'm hearing a little bit of that, and the line 6 might not be the quietest, and you might not have the best mic cable. So those are ways to improve the noise. Mic technique. I didn't give it a 3.5 because I feel like you could probably get a little bit closer on the mic. A trick, folks, when you are in a not so ideal echoey sounding room, the closer you get to the mic, the less echo you hear. But you can only get up so close and talk into the mic without it sounding kind of ridiculous, right? Like this just sounds ridiculous. But you can get pretty close to it. And like notice when I'm back here, you guys can hear the room more, right? La da 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 da, la da la da la, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie doo. Okay, and then it's going away, right? Let me demonstrate that one more time, just visually. La di da da. So I'm back here. I'm almost like a foot away, and I don't have a very echoey room at all, but you can hear the room, right? But I'm getting up a little bit more, closer, and if my room sounds pretty crappy, I can get about right here and do my voiceover work right here without it being too much like a radio voice, right? In a world. But right here is a good spot. So use that to your advantage. Use mic proximity and get a little bit closer than you might be told. This might be a little too far if your room is too echoey. Just get up a little bit more, and it can make up for the echoey tone. Okay? Mic tone, I think it sounds good, so I don't think that's a problem at all. And let's listen to your processed audio, especially for the budget. The line 6 may not be the best preamp, but oh puppy. But I think the AT2020 on your voice sounds good. He uploaded a processed audio. Let's see. And get your final questions in, folks, please. All right, let's take a listen to the process.
Sheldon Roberts. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
I'm just going to compare.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right?
Wait, that reads different.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples.
You did a different read.
So you go to Staples.
So you go to Staples, and then you did. So you go to Staples.
So you go to Staples.
That's fine. I'm not mad at you. It's just, but I would want you to process the original audio as a truck drives by. All right, listening.
That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now at the lowest price possible. So, you go to Staples, still easy, with an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee. More people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else.
Sorry, got it.
Staples. That was easy.
It's supposed to show the big green line around my screen when it's doing it, and it was doing it in my testing, and it's not on game day, so sorry about that, folks. But anyways, I was going between his original, and it's literally a different read. But what's crazy is his reverb is a lot better in the process.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples.
That's the original. Now, here's his process, but it is a different read, but I assume it's on the same equipment.
You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples.
So, if Sheldon, is he commented? I don't know if he's on. He might be using Isotope D reverb, which is like, that comes, I think, only in the advanced one, which is like $1,000. It's ridiculous. But either he got up closer on his mic for this processed version take that he re-recorded, or he's really using the D reverb tool well, which is hard to do.
That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now at the lowest price possible.
So the noise floor is still not great, ironically, but the reverb is like way better. The acoustics like went up massive points. It's not, I still hear a little too much of the room echoing than I would like for a professional recording, but it's really impressive if he literally recorded it like in the same environment without adding any I'm kind of, if Sheldon is, email me if you see the Sheldon later on the recording, because I'd like to know what you did on this process version, because it's almost like you added pillows and stuff, because it sounds a lot better. So, all right, folks, do you want me to do one more or just hop into questions? One more? Okay. All right. All right, next up is Allison Young. Come on down on The Price is Right. Oh, my voice sounds great. Not. Have some throat coat after this. All right, I think she only uploaded. Yep, no process version. Let's take a listen, folks.
Allison Young. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now, at the lowest price possible. So you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else. Staples. That was easy.
Cool. Just wrapping up my rating here. Hang tight.
Allison Young. You need ink and toner, so you go to Staples. That was easy, right? Let's make it tougher. You need hard-to-find ink in a
Noise floor. I think I hear a fan, a laptop fan specifically. I'm going to analyze it here. I'm going to amplify it to hone in on what I think I'm hearing. Let me bring in my little EQ here. Let's take a listen. Let me turn it on. All right. Yeah, I think I'm hearing a computer fan, and combined with the electronics of the microphone itself. Get that out of the way. But overall, it's not bad. That's really good. So let me give that a... sorry, doing this on the fly, folks. Here we go. All right, bring up a rating. So acoustics. I always like to bring up pictures with the acoustics, so let's bring some photos down. I gave you a 4. Ooh, pretty. Man, everyone's got great lighting. So she's got, those look like custom made, the real deal acoustic panels. I'm not sure what's behind this blanket, but I'm sure there's a lot. She says, room within a room with acoustic installation, curtains, and DIY acoustic panels. It looks great. She's running a Sennheiser MKH, or I think it's MK4, small diaphragm condenser. I think those are only $300, and they sound great for the money. She's running into an Audient ID4, which is really also very good for the money. Here's her ceiling. Nice. Ceilings are overlooked. It's not the main thing you need to worry about at first, especially if you're sitting, but especially if you're a guy, it can be the culprit. Because what I mean by that is because men tend to have lower voices, and it resonates in the ceiling more than female voices. Cool. Look at that. Big old door. Yeah. Okay, sweet. So back to here. So yeah, your acoustics sound really good. I think let me listen one more time.
You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack. In stock now, at the lowest price possible.
All right, here's a great learning thing. I wanted to, for the few crazy viewers still on, one thing I hear in almost all VO recordings that you've all been submitting, especially if it's in a booth or a small room or a closet or even like a pillow fort, pretty much anyone who's not in a big open room like this and has it acoustically treated, and even in my booth, I hear they all, it depends on the voice and the mic and everything, but there's a bass, sort of bass tone resonance that occurs. And the only way to find it is to listen for it and to bring up something, bring up an EQ and then just cut it out. Unfortunately, like I don't have a free EQ that I can recommend that has a visual display, but there are plugins you can download that will show you the spectrum as what I've been showing you here. And let me show you what's going on. Let me reset this so that it's less cluttered.
You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack.
I'm actually just going to turn it up for a moment. Oh, hold on. I'll turn. Oh, yeah, sorry. Just a sec. I got you. God. Worst host ever. All right. Okay, sharing now. Just turned her gain up a little bit so I can hear it better.
You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack. In stock now, at the lowest price possible. So you go to Staples. Still easy.
So she has kind of a resonant tone. A lot of people's resonant tones exist between 200 and 500 hertz, like almost all the time. But hers is, let me listen a little bit more.
At the lowest price possible. So you go to Staples. Still easy. With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples' low-price ink guarantee, more people save on ink and toner at Staples than anywhere else.
All right, cool.
Staples. That was easy.
So it's kind of a wide cut I did because, and you can use both your eyes with a plugin like this. By the way, this is one EQ plugin, but you can get much more affordable plugins than this one that show the spectrum popping up. Or if you use something like Reaper or Persona Studio One, or Pro Tool, any of them have like an EQ that comes with, like, you can see the whole spectrum. But notice how I'm cutting like around 300 hertz. It's kind of like a bass sort of low mid frequency. And you just kind of have to listen for it. And let me kind of show you how it gives you a visual with the EQ. But if you want to try to use your ears to figure out where it is with a free plugin, this is for Apple only. Let me show you. Let's bring in my effects stack here. was playing with this earlier. Okay, by default, it'll just be like that. And it only gives you one frequency band to do anything with. And it's really basic, but this is free. It's called the AU Parametric EQ. You can either load it in a stack in Twisted Wave, or you just click on effects and then just do, literally just load an effect by itself like this in its own window. So we'll just do that for now. Get this out of the way. And unfortunately, it doesn't show any information while you're playing. Look.
With an amazing selection,
Right.
helpful associates.
But what you can do is grab the edge of this, and look, both bands move. It gets a little bit wide. And you grab the dot wherever you want to move it, or you just grab the band. So what you can do is, remember the number I told you? It's right. So here's 192 up to like 500 would be around here. Or no, it shows you actually in the information. See that? Right there. So what you can do is you grab the dot and you can boost it like that and maybe make it a little bit more narrow. I wish this represented more on the outside, but anyways, you can, this is called EQ sweeping, and you can like boost it a lot and try to listen to where it sounds the most honky and not pleasant, where it's like, okay, that's what it's going to sound like when it's at its worst. So take a listen. I'm going to turn off my mic as I sweep.
You need hard-to-find ink in a multi-pack, in stock now, at the lowest price possible. So, you can...
And I'm actually going to put one phrase on a loop, because that's a great way to know. So you do that by going into loop mode, and I think it should just repeat itself.
At the lowest price possible. All
right, so you're going to hear lowest price possible like 6 times. Here we go.
The lowest price possible. At 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 the lowest price possible.
At the low. I see y'all dancing. Okay, so other than the dancing, if you were listening, I know it's hard to do both. I can't as a man. I cannot multitask. But I was moving it around until I heard just the lower parts where it was most sounding. And I settled on 255 hertz, right? Now I'm boosting, right? So then what I'm going to do is we're going to be able to dance again. But listen while you dance, okay, folks? You got to learn and dance. And I'm going to pull this down below this 0 dB line. That means we're cutting. Right now we're boosting because we're above this linear field, this linear line. I'm going to go below it. So here we go, back into loop mode.
Lowest price possible. At the 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 lowest price possible.
I'm going to bypass it.
At the lowest price possible. At the lowest price possible.
And I'm going to put it on.
At the lowest price possible.
It's really subtle, and you don't want to, I'm pulling like 1.5 or 1.25 dB, right? But, whoops, I don't know why it reset, but I have to go back there. But I know you may not be able to hear the difference, but if you just cut a little bit in that part that sounds honky, it really opens up the recording. So I'm going to bypass it, and let's listen to a little bit.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples low-price ink guarantee.
Now I'm going to put it on.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and Staples low-price ink guarantee.
Here, it's really subtle, okay? I know I don't expect you to all be able to like just, whoa, it's crazy. This is like comes from a lot of experience, right? I've mixed a lot of VO. But it's that little cut you can apply in post that can just really change a lot. When you already have a great mic, great acoustics, most importantly, and great gear, I'm not a fan of adding EQ. You usually just need a cut. On my voice, if you haven't noticed, I'm very right? I've got a lot I have a lot of nasal in my voice. And in the booth, I'm talking directly into the mic, and there's the window behind the mic. And I'm trying to cut all of that out as much as possible in my voice. And it's really harsh because when hits a hard surface, it sounds extra y, okay? So what I do as I record in, but you can do this after, I'll just show you. you can't, unfortunately, you can't see it in a visual way, but recording, this is doing essentially the same thing, except at a higher frequency. It's actually at 1K. So instead of it being down in the honky area, I don't actually have a honky tone on my voice in my booth, but like most female voices I record in there, it's really honky, like at 250 hertz. Crazy. But on my voice, I'm doing something like around here, 1.9, and it's a really sharp cut. So I'm cutting like that. Oh shit, sorry. Okay. On my voice, I'm doing more of a cut up here because that's where the harshest tone is on my voice as I'm recording. So this is my Apollo Twin setup, right? So I'm around 2K and I'm cutting 1.5 dB, but it's also fairly sharp. I know you can't see it. This is a different kind of EQ, but essentially it's doing this in a visual form. And it's reducing that because it sounds really harsh in my booth on my voice. So, but on most voices in general, back to the thing, is like, just play with this EQ. All right, I know that's been a while. But that's one great tip that can really open up a lot of your voice tones, like Jason Lanier's. There was a ton. Catherine Curtin's. I could have cut out, and I was demonstrating on a few around 200 to 500 hertz somewhere. And it really just opens it up and makes it sound less muffled. Cool. Okay, back to her rating. Let's turn that off. Okay, I don't even know where the hell I was, but recording levels were good. Mic technique was great. That's a 5. I like the mic tone.
With an amazing selection, helpful associates, and staple.
Yeah, it's not too bright. A lot of condenser mics can sound too bright on a lot of female voices, and this mic is not too bright at all. And I've heard this mic sound too bright on women voices. So you just never know, people. You know, you just never know. And she didn't have processed audio, I don't think. Nope, no processed audio. And we've seen her booth, so there you go. I mean, so overall, Allison, you are in really good shape here. Like, I mean, look at your rating. You're 4s and above. Okay. Before I burn out and crash, let me remix the best price possible. Throw an 808 under that. 808 kick drum. Wait, was 808 a snare or a kick? I always forget. I should know these things. All right. I'm going to scroll up and see if there's any questions here, folks, as I take a sip, the last sip of water I got. Let me put back camera on. Okay. Okay, Allison. Hi. Oh, it's crazy. Oh, it's because you're an A name. You're like literally the first in the camera feed right now. And you say, how do you manage the reflections on the screen? Oh, okay. That's a great question because I'm a freak about it. So I wish I could like take a wireless camera into my booth and show you. But my monitor that I read off of, I don't have it. It's kind of inconvenient, but I actually have it not directly in front of me. So let me grab my laptop to demonstrate, to give you a profile version. So if I was reading, the mic's going to sound a little weird. And this is actually kind of a squishy case. So don't listen to the tone. Just, I'm showing you visually what you can do. If you have a screen that you're reading off of in your booth that's bigger than an iPad, folks, it can be adding a little bit of a harshness and a reflection tone, especially the closer it is. So if you have a bigger screen and you have distance, you can get it. Almost done, babe. And she's like, God damn, am I gonna see you tonight? The further it is, the less it's gonna reflect. Now, if you have to have it pretty close, because right, not everyone has a giant booth, I have my screen down here, but it's actually pretty far away, right? So my eye line's just looking down at it. I'm not doing this. If you don't do that, that's gonna mess you up. But I just have it like this. So, and I noticed when I lowered it that level, instead of having it like this, the harshness in my voice went down, not like a ton, but enough for my crazy ass to hear, okay? So another way to do it is to also angle it away. So if you have it like a screen up here, well, that's already great if it's straight like that. But just remember, if you start angling it like that, then it's going right back where your mic is. So if you can deal with a little off axis somewhere where it's not directly, just imagine a line going whoop, boom, boom. But if it's straight, it's going boom, boom, and not, hopefully that makes sense. Cool? That's not a huge issue I hear in booths, but it's one of those tweak things you can make when you're already at a level like you're at, Allison, with your setup, right? But again, it also applied with the desk that was it Jennifer? I can't remember. A name, hopefully I said right, but she had the mic pointed right at the desk, right? Right at the hard. It was like literally aimed at the hard surface, and she had an amazing setup, but it didn't sound as amazing as it could have, right? So there you go. All right. Next question. I'm going to try to get through these. So start. I don't see actually a ton. I'm sorry I can't read through all the comments right now, folks. No one likes to watch the host sit there and read every comment. So, but I'm trying to catch some here and there. Let's get to. I'm just looking for a capital question here. Jordan, don't forget to share your screen. Yeah, thank you. Oops, sorry. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions. One free EQ you can use in case you missed it earlier. TDR Nova from yeah, I remember that. I was looking at free EQs, Adam, and I couldn't find any that had a visual parametric EQ that I was showing you, where it had like all the waveform, like where you could see the spectrum. None of the free ones had that I could find, except I think Blue Cat Audio had one, but I was trying to find one that would install itself, where you wouldn't have to like drag it and dig into your system folder and all this crap. Like, so I couldn't find a free one, unfortunately. But Blue Cat Audio has a parametric EQ you can use that does this. It's just might be a little difficult to install. All right. No more questions? Oh, wait, hold on. No fan in my booth. Where is that wind noise? I don't know. I see you, Allison, on the camera right now. I can't see everyone on camera. I see some, but it could have been. Yeah, you don't have any computers in there or anything. Okay. Again, it wasn't like super loud. It's probably just the electronics in your stuff. But again, like I had to amplify it to really hear it. So don't stress about it. You're doing good. All right. Oh, it does have visible EQ. TDR. Okay, sorry. I missed that then. I thought I looked up all the free ones earlier. Okay, folks. I think that's everything. And questions wise. So to wrap up, lowest price possible for the lowest price possible for the lowest price. All right. My white ass cannot do that. So as a final note, thank you all so much for hanging out for so long. I hope you learned a ton. I'm sorry if your audio did not get listened to. There was a ton of submissions, but I tried to do as many as I could. If you did submit your audio or you didn't and you still want to have this exact thing done, get a Pro Studio rating card so you have an idea of where your audio gauge is. I'll be sending out an email. If you're on here, you'll be getting an email with a link to a special discount that'll go on for about a week after this, okay? But it's super affordable. It'll be $40 instead of $50, and it comes with not only the card, but it comes with like me talking, giving you a ton of feedback, rapid fire. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing a little bit of noise here, or it sounds like you might have a screen over here, or I like the mic, and I give you like a crap load of advice within 5 minutes. It's well worth the money. So anyways, thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for being so patient with my screen switching and me being a little manic and trying to figure everything out with Google Docs not working, but this was really fun. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. I see you all. I'm trying to make the screen bigger so I can see. Bye. For the lowest price possible. And out.